Hello, YouTube and Facebook family. We're here tonight to talk about, well, men cheating, and we know who's in the news, right? I know many of you probably heard of a relationship guru, Derrick Jaxn. Spell his name Jaxn. I don't know why. His real name is Jackson. I guess that's just to put a little flair on it. But anyway, let me show you a picture of him, and then we'll continue on because it's really a trip. But I'm gonna show you a picture of him for those who, because I talked to some people today to ask, did you know who he is? And okay, they don't know who he is, so I'm gonna show him to you. This is who we talking about. He's a relationship guru, a self-exclaimed relationship guru. There's pictures of him, and this is also another picture of him. So I know many of you seen him around the internet, and what he's famous for, sitting in his car. He'll sit in his car and talk to women, and he tells women about men. He's kind of like a Steve Harvey. You know, when Steve Harvey wrote the rules for women, that's who he's like. Oh, and also, I didn't say this last video, but I always want you to comment when you come chat with CC, and please subscribe, share, like, or do whatever. It adds to my statistics, and let me put that on. But please, if you got a comment, because this is going to be a really good talk, and I'm going to talk lightly about Derrickjaxn, because really, it's been in the blogs all week, and especially Tashak broke the story. He's telling everybody else what to do with their relationship, but apparently he's not living the life himself. So about we know right now about 3 mistresses have came forward. And I'm going to go back and tell you, when Tashak first broke this story about he had a mistress, and mind you, I mean, he had got Charlemagne. I mean, I can't think on the top of my head how many men that was caught cheating in the headlines, and he the first one to comment on, telling them how much a dog they are, and yada yada yada, and all this stuff, you know, how they shouldn't do their wives. And I'm even gonna let you hear some of what he had to say. But you know, he went on Facebook, and he's been doing this for a while. He got books out. He got about 4 books out, how to treat a lady, telling women, you know, what not to take from men, and you know, about their self-esteem, you know, all this stuff that women, you know, want to hear. I mean, some of it I would agree with, but you know, and I think that's what makes this man dangerous, Derrickjaxn, is because, first of all, he is nice looking. Let's give it to him. You know, if you agree with me out there, say so. He is nice looking, nice little chocolate drop, you know. But he's like, if I could say, one of those, I don't want to say serial killer because I don't think he'd kill nobody, but he's one of those master manipulators, that he knows what women like. He knows how to treat a woman, because, I mean, how many times that we have our husbands and everything, and we trying to drill into them what we like, how we like to be treated, you know, just things like that. And I'm gonna do like the Gorilla Glue lady. We have preached that to time and time and time again, and you know, it goes in one ear and out the other with most men. But see, he's dangerous because he knows what he's supposed to do, and he knows how to treat a lady, and he takes that and he really manipulates women. And as we see, the women that he got busted with, they didn't even know he was married. He's been married ever since 2017. But his wife, they've been together since college, so they've been together a long time. But he was going around, had another whole apartment, had a house with his wife, but had a whole nother condo here in Atlanta in Buckhead, where he used to bring this girl. And like I said, Tashak, if you look at Tashak K's blog, the mistress is telling exactly what happened. Had another, remind me of the Wendy Williams story. I don't know how in the world a wife would let a man have a whole condo to himself. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about him and let him talk about how he busts down other guys, and remind you, this guy been cheating, and his mistress says that not only, I mean, some of the stuff she said, he was talking about the wife talking about, because at first she didn't know that he had a wife. But then when she found out, he said, you know, the same thing all men tell you, you know, we separated and her sex is no good, it's boring and all that stuff. And, you know, he going around here doing the time. But let me show you what he has to say, what kind of man he is. Let me tell you what he has to say. But mostly, this topic is really talking to Danaiah, his wife. Danaiah is his wife. But I'm just letting you know who he is before I start talking about her, because, I mean, that's why this thing is sex in the name of Jesus, because both of them profess to be so Christian. I mean, she's a little bit more out there as far as Christian in the Bible, you know, more than him, but he quotes some Bible scriptures too. Okay, let me show you. This is an example of what he got to say. Okay, okay, I got it now. Okay, I think I'm sharing it with you already. Okay.
What's going on, y'all? I forgot to mention something on that last video I uploaded, so I was gonna say it now. Anywho, on the last video, I talked about the dude who said that, you know, it's difficult for a guy who's formerly promiscuous to be monogamous with one woman, so she should acknowledge his effort to be faithful, right? Well, he also said something that kind of tickled me. He said, if a guy slips up and cheats, it shouldn't outweigh all the good that he's done up until that point, right? But by woman logic, it somehow does, and he doesn't understand why. I'm gonna tell you why. First off, to say that, you know, cheating shouldn't outweigh all the good that you've done is also to say there's an amount of good you can do to deserve to cheat, which is bullshit. And I shouldn't even have to explain that, because vice versa, we would catch a fucking fit and, you know, decide to be hoes for the rest of our life if a woman would ever break our heart, no matter how much good she's done. But anywho, you don't know how much damage you've done by cheating on a woman, so we can't reduce it to just one lapse in judgment, you know, one slip up or whatever. That's besides the fact that none of us really slip up and fuck anybody. There was a rapport that we built. There was scoping out that happened. There was putting ourselves in that position. There was flirting. You know what I'm saying? So going by most people's definition of cheating, yeah, you just slip up. But the truth is, you've probably been cheating months before you actually put your dick in her. And more times, I would say 9 times out of 10, when a dude gets caught cheating, that wasn't his very, very first time cheating. That wasn't his only time cheating. That was his only time getting caught. Let's be real. But back to what I was saying, it's not just one slip up. You just caused damage for the next 2, 3 months, 6 months, depending on how much she loved you and how much she had invested in you. Not only that, it can definitely outweigh how much good you've done, because shit, she may question all the good things you've done since you done cheated on her. So if y'all been together a year, right, had no problems, all these good times, all these laughs, all these times you told her that she was beautiful to you, that she was the only one that you wanted, and then you go and you cheat and you go against everything that you said, you caused a year of past damage, plus you caused whatever, how much time it's going to take for her to get back off the ground of the shit that you just did. But somehow that means that, you know, one fucking slip up shouldn't outweigh all the good that you've done. Motherfucker, that one slip up might cancel all the shit that you've done. fuck all the what's going to outweigh all the good that you've done. It might not even be worth the price to pay of you possibly doing the shit again. But how can you put a value on how much your slip up meant to a woman? You know what I'm saying? You don't know how much she invested in you, how much she believed in you. How are you going to say, oh, this only caused so much damage, so you should get over it? It shouldn't outweigh. You don't make that decision. And I'm not saying we should never be given second chances, because dudes change all the time. You know what I'm saying? But I am saying you can't be the one to dictate how fast the woman should heal, or what shouldn't be too much pain for her to take in comparison to how much joy you brought to her life. So absolutely, your one slip up can change everything about the way that you're perceived to your woman. Your one.
Okay. Now, this is what he had to say about other people. This is the kind of relationship advice that he gives. And, you know, like I say, please comment on it and give me some feedback on this, because I know I'm not the only one that looking at this guy like, you know, with the side eye. And the bad thing about it, the thing is, Tashak K broke the story, but he's been cheating for years. He was cheating while they got 2 kids. He was cheating through each one of her pregnancies, all through college. He didn't got exposed all over the place with numerous women. And what he does, this is his MO. And all of the women say the same thing. They didn't even know each other, but all of them that's coming out. And a new one came out this week, but I'll tell you about that one later. All of them says that first he didn't tell him she was married. He takes them out, and one girl, he didn't spend no money on her. He just took her out and just basically it was just go out for a nice time, let's go to bed, and all of this stuff. But you know, he was supposed to be coaching on her relationship. That's how they got together. But anyway, he dated these women for about a year or close to a year. And then all of a sudden, this is why he's just crazy too. All of a sudden, what he does is just cut them off of his social media, blocks them, and just poof, he go ghost on them. You know, I don't know if that's because he didn't got what he want, and you know, everybody's just a play toy in the first place. But he does it with all of them. The same story, you know, same story. Like I said, it's interesting to see. So anyway, he didn't got busted. So he comes on when Tashak K first broke the story, he denied it. You know, it's a lie. But then when everybody started coming out the closet, he had to admit it. So I see you saying over here. Yeah. So he had to admit it. So when he admitted, then okay, he grabs his wife. Now this is why I said, you know, we have to talk to this wife, because he grabs his wife and they go on social media. Oh, another thing, if you look on his page, I think I pulled up his page. Now he's been doing this, and like I said, he's been writing books, going around being guest speakers. You know, he the relationship guru. And this is why I tell people that, you know, you see plenty of people on Facebook act like they got it together. I see people writing books and stuff talking about they telling you their stuff. They ain't no better than nobody else. You know, when you see a relationship on Facebook and everybody all happy, smiling, oh yeah, girl, and all this stuff. I love my man. My man's a king and all that stuff. That's bullshit. Ain't no perfect man out there, and ain't no perfect marriage out there. And, you know, when they sit up there and try to perpetrate like they got it all together, you know, I mean, hey, even Beyonce and Jay-Z and Barack Michelle had to go to marriage counseling. Bill Cosby, well, we all know what happened to him. You know, everybody should stink somewhere or another. It's not no perfect man. So when you look at people and always be looking at them like, oh, they got it going together, or they know something. They don't know nothing. They going through life just like you are. He seems to be doing it for the money. Well, yes, he was doing it for the money. And wouldn't nothing be wrong with that if he was believing in what he had to say. But you know, he didn't. And even with this, I'm gonna show you what happened on his page with him when he gonna grab his wife, because he had to do damage control, because like I say, he was a big one out there, you know, selling these books and all of this stuff. And so he gonna grab his wife, and it's just pitiful. When I seen his wife get on this thing making this apology with him, I was like, what the hell? And I think you're gonna be like, what the hell too. I don't know if I'm going to her page or his page to show you show you the apology. But it was just pitiful. It was just pitiful. Let me see if it's on her page, because I got her page pulled up. I think I want to go to his page. But I mean, you know, if that was my husband,
tagged in this viral meme with people asking me,
he would be if that was my husband, he would be on here doing his own damage control, because I didn't put him in it, and I sure ain't gonna take him out of it. But okay, let me go first to his page and scroll down to where he got his wife sitting up here, and she's sitting up there, look like he just grabbed her out of bed and say, baby, you know, come. He probably pleaded with her, talking about, we got to do this for our brand, because let me tell you, people like him, they doing damage. He ain't sorry, but they doing bad damage control because he want to keep that money coming in. And I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, let me let you see this first before I start getting on my horse box about stuff. Okay. I mean, and pay attention to her when you really look at this. Pay attention to her. Okay, I think this is the first time him and her got together.
Life is about creating memories.
I'm sorry, I should have took out this commercial.
Oh, than by experiencing the freedom of the open road with your family and your friends.
What's going on, guys? Derrick Jaxn here, and today I am joined by my lovely wife, Danaia. And we just wanted to address a couple of things. You know, we understand that some of you may have already heard, maybe not, that this chapter of our marriage is one that was preceded by a marriage that I completely failed. And I would say it just started around August, maybe September of last year. But, you know, a lot has been said already about what was the cause and all that other stuff. Some of it is true. Some of it is completely false. But the truth is, and I'm saying it here now, is that Derrick Jaxn was involved with other women outside the marriage. And by involved, I want to be clear, I'm not talking about just casually kicking it, maybe a lunch or something like that. I'm talking about as serious as sex, to sexual flirtation and meeting up and that kind of thing. And some things that otherwise may be considered okay by some in terms of like just chatting or checking on people or being checked on by people that I've had a previous encounter with. But without my wife's knowledge of it and with us having a sexual history, all of it falls under the umbrella of inappropriate, cheating, affair, stepping out, definitely not in alignment with the vows that I took, and definitely not in alignment with the biblical standard of what it means to be faithful, which is the standard that I'm going by now. Now, I'm saying this publicly, not because I'm, you know, married to you guys. First and foremost, I'm accountable to God. Then I have to be accountable to my wife, in which we've already had this conversation. I've already told her literally everything. I've given her basically a roll call list. If I've said hello to a woman in the last 12 years of me knowing her, she knows about it. But now that it's been made so public, it's important that I first off let you guys know I do not stand by those actions. I don't want to encourage anybody to do that. And then secondly, I know that I cannot build a platform preaching certain things, preaching against certain things, and then in my real life live contrary to that for any amount of time or any length of time to any extent, and think that I can't be held accountable. You know, the same way that I preach, you know, men and women in this situation need to face consequences of their actions, deserve to be held accountable. Guess what? Derrick Jaxn's no exemption. He's not exempt from that. I'm also not a victim. Nobody made me do this. She didn't make me or push me to do it. The next person didn't make me. No friend influenced me. It don't matter how I was raised and what trauma or whatever. Look, I made decisions. I made a series of decisions that I got to account for. There's no excuse or justification. I've already made that bet and have had to lie in it. And now we're finally getting on to the other side personally in our own healing and our own marital oneness. And now this is being made public to you guys. So we're bringing that forth to you guys to let you know where we're at with that. But did you want to say anything?
Yes, so I do want to just add that I agree with what he just said. There is no justification for bringing other women into our marriage on any level. And it was unacceptable. And it's not something that I tolerate or that we tolerate moving forward. And when I've been flooded again with messages and these things and about, I need to leave or why haven't I left? And the answer is, when I found out about it, I left. I did not hesitate or waste time to do so. And I stayed gone. No matter how many times he came, I stayed gone and stood firm on, I am not coming back. And I did not come back until I seen a shift and a change in his mentality and how he carried himself and how he presented himself and conversations that we were able to have that we had never been able to have in just 12 years of knowing each other. And when we were able to have these dialogues, said, okay, Lord, this is something that you've had your hand on. And this was with me being completely removed from his life and him pursuing God, continuing to pursue God and continuing to eliminate these things that led up to the catastrophe that you guys are seeing for the first time. So there's nothing out there right now that is information that I don't already know about or haven't known about. And so this is not something that is new. We have moved forward from it. We have gotten counsel for it and continue to do so. He is still continuing to pursue God and continuing to seek guidance and wise counsel from men of God. And that is what I needed for the continuation of me being present and in this marriage and to stand by his side. So today, where I'm at is at peace, and I proudly stand by his side, and I have no hesitation, I have no hurt, no shame about that. And it's only because of the grace of God and the mercy of God. And we have already turned a new chapter in this story. We are continuing to move forward, and we are just now sharing that with you all. And I forgave him, and most importantly, God has first forgiven him, and I also forgive the others as well. And with that, we are free and moving forward. So that's all I have.
Yeah. And I get it. Some of y'all, like, this may come as a huge shock, probably a huge disappointment. I let a lot of you down. If you've had a perspective shift on who Derrick is, hopefully it's away from anything remotely close to perfection. And it's simply that, I am a human, and that does not justify anything that I did. But I don't want anybody out there to be putting me on a pedestal. If you did, then I hate that you did that. Maybe I gave you cause for that, and I apologize if I did. For those who are saying, Derrick, I don't want to ever listen to you again, it's totally understandable. I appreciate you while I had your support and helping me get the message out about healing and healthy relationships to so many people who needed it, myself included. And for those who are going to continue to support, man, I appreciate you like never before, because I know it's not going to be easy going forward, at least for a little while so many things are still fresh and attached to my name. But for everybody out there, if you get nothing else from what I've ever said over the last 9 years or right here in this video, please get this. Nothing is right until it is right with God. Nothing works until it comes into alignment with biblical standard of how God told us to do things, especially when we're talking about a marital, spiritual covenant. Yes. You cannot do this by your own understanding, your own intelligence, your own willpower, your own values. You have to have the grace of God to break free from certain things, to stay away from certain things, to not operate from your lowest self, whatever it may be. And it's because it's really only by God's grace that we're even able to be here on this video, holding hands. Well, like a year ago, 7-8 months ago.
I have to stop it right there. Okay. Now we got a couple of comments. Let's see. Let's go up to the top, and then I'll say what I got to say. Okay, we have one to say, it seems like you're doing it for the money. Okay, yeah, we got that. It's money driven. Okay. Julia, personal social media. Yeah. Okay, let me tell you a little bit of backstory on this too. She shouldn't have I wouldn't have got on with him either. And it looked like, I mean, I don't know what kind of, what he told her or what, you know, it says they didn't have no conversation because, yeah, you're right. And that's what he said. It says, I don't know why she listened to him either. And, you know, even he said in that video I played the first time, if a man got caught, it ain't because it's his first time. He just got caught the first time. But let me tell you a little bit backstory about that. Before I talk about her, because like I say, I don't really want to go into it about her. That was made on the 22nd, I believe, because the story broke about a couple of weeks before that. He denied it. Then the girls started coming out the closet. Like I say, 3 girls already presently have came out of the closet. But now he been cheating. I mean, like she said, they were separated because he's been cheating before they even got married. When they was in college, he was cheating. Then they got married. She had 2 pregnancies. He was cheating. And so she finally did leave him, but then she came back, you know, with this junk. And all he talking about, oh, God. And that's why I said sex in the name of God. You know, he's going using God as a cover for this. God ain't got nothing to do with him sitting up there going with all these women. And let me tell you, okay, about the backstory. This was made on the 22nd. Another woman that she, you know, Tasha didn't want to put her identity out there, but she's supposed to be a doctor, a surgeon, and I'm guessing Grady, because she put it like this. She's in how did she put a state-run hospital or something like that, which we know is Grady. But they didn't tell her name because she didn't want her name exposed. But she says she don't have social media. She's not a social media person. So she says she didn't even know this was going down. She thought he was her boyfriend, you know. She thought he was her boyfriend. But what happened was he called her. They made that video on the 22nd. He called her and told her, and I mean, like I say, this video will be too long for me to go in what I want to say, but go to Tashak K's blog and it'll say it all. He called her telling her that do not answer the phone for nobody because this blogger is mad because he didn't accept the interview and she's spreading lies about him. That's what he told this lady. So she was like, well, what the hell? What, you know, like, why I can't answer the phone, and how did she get my name? She didn't know what was going on. So, you know, then I think she did some investigation. She did an investigation on it and found out that Tashak K had busted all these other women. So she called Tashak K like, you know, what the hell going on? And Tashak K gave her the background, and she gave Tashak K the story on their relationship. And he called himself, he had her served with what you call them things when you can't talk? Cease. I don't know if it's a cease and desist. But anyway, he had her served when he told her not to answer no phone. At the same day, he had an attorney come and slap her with she can't talk. But see, by then, Tashak K had got the story, so it really didn't matter. You know, she had got the story before she was slapped with that cease and desist. Okay, so he said that he had gave up all of this, but apparently he was still fooling around with this other lady. So he still was cheating out there. And what this comment say? She probably depends on him for money. I don't know, because another thing, all this time that he had his little page, you don't see her nowhere on it. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna try to show you his page again. You don't see her nowhere on it. He never posts her. Never. All you see is him, and he's sitting in his car, or he writing his book, or he giving his thing. But no, he never posts her. But yet on her page, because I'm gonna show you her page too, she posts him all the time. But he don't never. That's why I guess none of them knew that he was married, because he don't have her nowhere on the page. Now he have her on the page with all this. But look, he looked like, first of all, this child is depressed. You can look at her. First of all, she looked like a hot mess coming on. I mean, you know, now he always looked good. Like I say, you know, he's a little chocolate drop. He looked good on right there. She looked like he grabbed her out of bed. She looked like she had some kind of hair bonnet on, and she looking like. At first, he talking. She like, I mean, looking like one of those cult ladies on what's that own show, Ruthless? You know, yeah, about her husband fucking these other girls. Excuse my language. I mean, what kind of stuff is that? And then now it's like, yeah, I know, but you know, he's then turned to God and he's talking all this God stuff and God stuff. God ain't had nothing to do with him out there cheating. But okay, let me show you his page where he don't have her posted nowhere, and I'm gonna show you her page where she have him posted everywhere. You know, like showing their relationship. He ain't got her nowhere. And
so I keep getting tagged in this viral meme with people asking me to self and don't just
stop that. But it's just a shame. Oh, they did another video too. I'm gonna show you that one too. You know, like I said, he trying to persuade people, and she's sitting up there. I mean, I just feel sorry for her because you can see the way she look. This girl is depressed. I'm gonna show you her page of what she really look like. She's really a nice looking woman, but like I say, right now she's going through some things. So she look all tore up. I mean, why would you get on camera anyway? You're gonna do an apology and you looking like that. I mean, especially if you look at his mistresses, he got a type because really kind of all of them kind of favor each other. I'm gonna show you one of them. Well, one of them is on that on the screenshot that I gave you, but. Okay, I'm gonna show you this one, and then we're gonna go to his page and compare his page with her page and yada yada yada. Okay, but I mean, she looking like a fool out here, and you know, to show you how narcissistic he is, he all dressed up. Why wouldn't you? Now you've been on YouTube all this time. I'm getting on a rant before I show you this stuff. But look, he's been on YouTube and Facebook all this time. He is always dressed, you know, muscles popping, all this stuff. Why would you sit up there and put your wife, it looked like he dragged her out of bed. Because like I say, she looking half out of it, like, why would he put her on there without saying, you know, like, hey, why don't you put on some makeup, you know, dress up so we could make this thing. I don't know what that was about. Okay, let me show you. We're gonna go through sneaking at their Facebook stuff. Okay, that's the mistress. That's one of them. The other one, let me see if they have the other one on here. Okay, this is with the wife. You know, she's not a bad looking woman, not at all. Like I say, right now she's depressed, so she's looking like this. I mean, looking all pitiful, and you can see she didn't put on some weight. He didn't really tore her down. I mean, dealing with this man, look at him. I mean, every time you see him, he's looking all sharp and everything, and she looking like who shot Adam. This is their wedding picture. No, okay. And she got some pictures. Okay, let's go on her page. This is her page. Denia. Okay, now like I say, this is her looking like she look now, because like I say, she look, and she's been posting all these little God things. Everything is about you know, God. You could look at some of the sayings, you know, quoting scriptures and all of this, because she seemed like a real spiritual girl. And like I say, all of this is, you know, since all of this broke out, she's doing all this, you know, God stuff and all that. She's depressed. Even got her looking, look at that right there. Got her looking like her name is Mary in the church with sensible shoes on. You know? But now his women, one of the girls said that he used to be, okay, he even took her. Okay, this is the bad thing. Well, let me finish showing you some of her page. This is some of her stuff, you know, as you can see. give you a clear picture of how she looks sometimes. I mean, she's really not a bad looking girl. You know, she tore up sometimes, you know. But like I say, she's been going through a lot. So you see all this Jesus stuff. But she could dress up when she wants to. And she's not a bad looking woman. Let me show you something. Look at her. You know, she seemed to be very spiritual. And that's what he's working on. That's where he get her with the God stuff, you know. Oh, that's their kids and stuff, you know. Okay, this is her. Not bad at all, you know. That's in better days. I hope I ain't flip it too fast for you. Okay, let's go to his page. This is back. This is page. Okay, his page. Okay, before this apology stuff, you don't see her nowhere. Not nowhere. I mean, you could go back further, but I ain't go back further. But yeah, she never was anywhere. So, you know, it's kind of bad. And now, the mistress is gonna tell. This is one of the mistresses gonna tell her that she done been in the house plenty of times. This man he used to take the women to her house. She got pictures of her laying in this wife's bed. How disrespectful is that? I mean, you know, like I said, he's a manipulator, a really masterful manipulator. A gag order. I see somebody wrote that. Yeah, he hit her with a gag order so she couldn't talk. Okay, but yeah, the mistresses. He not only took her to the wife's house. They got pictures of her laying in the bed with him. I'm trying to see where I stopped off with the comments. Yeah, I agree. It's really a mess. But she got pictures of her in this wife's bed all around. Now, she said that she did see boxes, but she said she didn't see no women clothes. But come to find out, what they found out was this house they was moving into, and the wife haven't actually had moved in that house yet. So he had took her there, and there it wasn't nothing out the boxes or anything that she could see, but he was living there before the wife had moved in there because they was buying his house. So, you know, once he got the house fixed up, I don't know where she was or whatever, but he would bring girls in the wife's house, in the wife's bed. And she said while he was doing his broadcast, you know, like I said, sitting there telling other men and women what they should do, she was prancing around in high heel shoes and thongs in the background. And really, she was laughing about it, you know. But I mean, really, you can't be mad at her. She ain't the one took the vows to her. But I'm just saying, she didn't know it was another lady in the picture at that time. You know, but what kind of stuff is that? You know, and on Dania's page, Dania had wrote one time, it's really pitiful. She had wrote one time, this is how you know this girl is really, really broke down. She had wrote that apparently she was sexually abused. You said it was rehearsed. She was sexually abused back in 2007 or in her childhood. And she never thought she was going to find love. And like I say, look at him. You know, he's a nice looking guy. So probably when they in school and stuff and he approached her, you know, she thinking, oh, you know, I got this guy that, you know, muscles popping and all of that. You know, I got me something, you know. So she thought she had something. But then, I mean, you know, he started cheating and she started taking him back, taking him back, cheating. And, you know, it's just been over and over and over again. And now she talking about, I know everything. No, apparently you didn't know everything. Cause like I say, this lady just got slapped with this gag order And he was still talking to her up until that time. She didn't even know her relationship. This is the doctor. She didn't even know her relationship was even on the rock. She thought that was her boyfriend up until he slapped her with the gag order. I mean, that's just a shame. I'm looking for a thing where she was saying that maybe it's on her YouTube. But anyway, she was saying that she had got abused, and when she found love, she just she just couldn't believe that she could love again. But what I want to say, okay, Danaiah, I don't know where your sister's at. I don't know where your mom at. I don't know where your friends at. But somebody needs to get this girl, because you could tell she depressed, and she is out of it. And I don't know. I think he'd have beat her down so low that she ain't got no strength in her to fight. I mean, she just looking bad, and to take him back. And like I say, he been cheating on her the whole time. This ain't just started. He talking about 1.5 years, because that was, at that time, that was the mistress that came out 1.5 years ago. But since then, it's been more. Now, what I find, and I'm just saying my point of view, because I'm not saying I'm a marriage counselor either, but you take him back, and he's going to do it again. He's going to do it again for a couple of reasons. Because first of all, he know he can get away with it, and you're going to take him back. And then, and I'm not saying, I would never tell somebody to leave their husband. But in this case, girl, you need to leave your husband. And the only reason I say that, because he's a manipulator. He's a liar, and he's manipulated. He is not sorry. And, I wouldn't be surprised if he spin this, how he have her sitting up there looking all pitiful and depressed and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised because see, he's the showbiz person. I wouldn't be surprised if he come out with a book and put her name on it, with her saying how I came out of this, or how our marriage got through this, or something, just to make more money. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him, because he's just about image. He's just about image. I mean, a man that's gonna take ladies and put him in his wife's bed, a home that his wife and kids have. Danaiah, you need to leave this. You need to leave this guy. Not only, if you don't have enough strength to fight for yourself, I'm talking to her. If you don't have enough strength to fight for yourself, think about your kids. If you have a son, he's going to grow up thinking that, okay, it's all right for him to sit up there and have all these ladies on the side, because that's what you do. Then if you have a daughter, you're going to have a daughter. I mean, just think about it. Would you want your daughter sitting next to a guy that's a habitual cheater, that had women all in your bed, had women all in your house, while you talking to your husband, and while you doing your broadcast, she pouncing around in a thong and heels, told the other women that when he finally told them he was married, he put it that they separated, and she won't give him a divorce. Something what most men do. Yeah, it's about money. She won't give him a divorce, and so he telling her that his wife's sex is boring. What kind of stuff is that you're gonna tell your girlfriend? The wife's sex is, first of all, I'm not going to talk about the mistresses. I mean, I need to talk about them too, but I'm not going to talk about them, because this is about him, because he's the one who made this commitment to her, and she's the one in his marriage. But that's so disrespectful. And if he felt that way, just like he telling other men, if your sex has gone downhill, because let's face it, when you've been married a long time, shit do get boring. Okay, but if you really want to work on your marriage, you'll do things to keep it going. Change the scenery, play some games, get some toys, do something. The same energy and stuff he put in to whining and dining and having them walk around and prounce around in a thong with like a pony. He could have had his wife pouncing around in a thong with a thong like a pony. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I agree. It's just gonna be another thing, you know. And then what makes me mad, he putting God into it, because she looked like she's a spiritual thing. At this point, she probably so beat up, the only person she run into is God. So he gonna put God into it. Oh, with God sanctions his marriage. And I didn't let y'all read some of that scriptures because I was going so fast. But if you go on her Instagram page, she quoting scriptures and talking about and I believe she made a video talking about God and their marriage. I'm gonna look back and I'll play that for you. But Danaiah, God ain't had nothing to do with that marriage. God made everybody, and he made you to have a brain and free will. Your free will made you pick that man. God didn't pick that man for you. You know how some women say, oh, God brought me him. No, God didn't bring you him. God gave you free will and you went out and picked him. That's what happened. You went out and picked him. God told you to use some sense. He gave you a Bible with principles that you're supposed to use as to guide your life. He didn't tell you who to go get. You the one chose and went and got him. Yeah, he is a narcissist and a bigot. But you know, it just makes me mad how people hide behind God sanctions his marriage. No, God didn't have nothing to do with that. He gave you free will and you picked who you picked, and that's all to it. In fact, if you really going by God and what the Bible say, you know, I believe it's in Matthew or somewhere that God even says, you know, about, I don't, you know, I haven't read it in so long, I can't quote the scripture exactly, but the way to get a divorce is, the only way that God sanctions a divorce is through adultery. And so if you go on by what you think that God said, you need to get a divorce, because he definitely did adultery, you know. Okay, I'm gonna show you, because she made this video. Maybe he put it on his page, because like I say, I'm gonna see if this is a different one. It could be.
Discovery Plus is here.
I don't know why they
People
take
are
these
singing their
commercials out
praises.
before I started
The
this
rave
video.
reviews are rolling in, and
you know, for years,
I don't know if this the same one or what, but I'm gonna share this with you. If this is the same one, I'll skip it, because it's one of the ones that she gets on and she's talking about God, and you know how God tell you the you know, I don't know, it's a whole bunch of stuff. And even in her scriptural quote, she's talking about something about, let me look on her thing to see if I can read one of these things, because I mean her scriptures ain't got nothing to do with her staying with this man. You know, something about behold, God is my salvation, and I would trust, not be afraid, for the Lord is my strength and my song. Yes, he has become my salvation. I mean, she's quoting scriptures all over the place, because you know, she's depressed. You know, I'm glad that, you know, she's you know, she has something to go on. But like I say, God ain't tell you to be no fool. Okay, I'm gonna go back to his page and see if this, because she did one by herself where she's telling everybody about how her strength in God is. So I'm gonna see if this the one.
I've been coming down on the hammer with people. You know, play no games, take no prisoners when it comes to certain things. And let me tell you something, for everybody listening out there, man, you can believe in something so fervently that it develops a sense of pride. And pride comes before the fall.
Oh, this
and
still
whenever
him
you
talking.
have pride and you're in a space that God has allowed you to be, he's called you to be, but you're not doing it the right way, God will humble you. YouTube is now on here too.
Hi, YouTube. How y'all doing?
God will humble you. So a lot of people were asking, like, you know, last year, why no videos? You're going weeks, you're going months without posting and anything like that. 2020, for some people, it was a pandemic, but for me, it was my lowest year, because it was like a reckoning with
getting so far into this path that God really has called me to be.
I don't want to hear him say nothing else about God. God ain't called him to be nothing during no pandemic. I'm gonna see, because she did one by herself where she's talking about how God, it may be on her YouTube, and I didn't pull up her YouTube, but it's talking about how she been quoting some scriptures that didn't even make sense to me.
I keep getting tagged in this viral meme when people ask.
Don't do this to your, like I said, he giving all kind of relationship advice, and he dogging other people out. Let me see. I'm gonna see what he says. Let's look at this one, because this got a interesting thing about what he's trying to tell people.
If you ever wanted to know what
$21,000 commercials. Excuse me, I don't curse.
$1,000 looks like in a single month, this is what it looks like.
Skip it.
Ladies, I know sometimes when a dude tell you like you can't do this and you can't do that, y'all be thinking that he just being controlling, but that ain't always the case. I mean, unless he start telling you need to cut off family members or giving you a curfew or something, like that's kind of controlling. But if a dude fuck with you, it is some things that he's just not gonna tolerate. Say for instance, if your man really loves you, he's not gonna let you talk down about yourself, whether physically or about what you're capable of or your career or whatever. He's not having it. Because you ain't always gonna feel so sexy or so confident, but if you get to talking down about yourself, you talking down about somebody that he loves, even though it's you talking. And if he real, he gonna have a problem with that. So say one day.
More bullshit. First of all, if he felt like that, why would you have your wife on camera looking like she tore down when you know you should have at least told her, baby, go dress up or something, or go put some stuff on, you looking good, and look how you have her looking. Like I say, it's just full of junk. And I don't know where this girl friends at. Like I say, you don't have, some friends or some mothers or some sisters, you need to pull her to the side and say, girl, you know, how much stuff you gonna take? This lady got pictures of in your house, in your bed. You know, she prancing around in high heel shoes with a thong on while he talking all this bullshit about how men should love their wives and all that stuff. I mean, how bad can it get? And now it's all this God did this and God showed me the way. God, you know, that it's just terrible. I mean, God should strike him down just for sitting up there putting him in the equation, you know? I don't know. But anyway, so much for that. But I just want to get that out. And Dania, you need to leave. Like I say, I wouldn't tell nobody to leave their husband. I'm telling you to leave your husband, because that man is dangerous, and he gonna have you so mentally crazy in a minute. I mean, she already looked like I say, like she's in a cult and all drugged up, going I don't know if y'all see Ruthless on the OWN network, where them ladies is all out of it, but that's exactly what she looked like. I mean, you could tell she depressed, looking like that, but. You know, I hope the best for her, but this guy, I don't have no words for him. But ladies, at least you know what to stay away from. Don't buy his books. And if he come out with a book, even with her name on it, on how they got to the next level, it's bullshit. Basically bullshit, you know. And like I say, all them people that you see, this is a good example of people you see. You know, you may have a girlfriend that you look on Facebook all the time or something, and she look like she having all this fun. Her man always doing stuff for her, and then you sit up here looking at your man and he ain't doing jack nothing, you know, and you thinking, boy, why I don't have that, you know. Now your man could be just a bump on the log, ain't worth nothing. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, believe me, it's stuff over there on that side too. That's what I'm saying. And you know, another lesson I learned, when a man sit up there and be all this in front of your face, honey, this, and you know, telling you beautiful 15,000 times. I mean, you know, even when you dating, you ever had those dates where you go on and a man just looking at you, oh, I love your hair, I just love your skin, I just love your eye. And you know, I mean, not to say that you think you look ugly, but you know, damn, you ain't all of that you sitting up here. I mean, to me, that used to be a turnoff, you know, because it's like, okay, now, a compliment is a compliment, but when you go over and beyond, either you talking for some booty or you talking for something, because they know all this, you know, all like it just, it's just crazy. And then, oh, I love you, all that 15 times a day. Most of the time they hiding something, they doing something. And if they keep you off your guard, thinking that, okay, well, he ain't doing nothing. You say he just trying to get some. Most of the time that is, because like I say, it ain't that you think you ugly, but you ain't all that, and he ain't that mesmerized. And a lot of men will sit up there and have you, thinking, especially if he real attentive in front of your face, and not all the time, but when a man is going over and beyond, like, all the time, oh, just my lovely wife, this my lovely girl, I just love her and all this stuff. Most time they just throwing you off your game so you could be so self-confident you ain't looking to see what they doing, and they gone doing something else, and you just thinking, oh yeah, I don't have a care in the world. With sister, you better, because you do have a care in the world. But that's how it goes most of the time. So like I said, nobody's perfect. When you put two people together that come from two different backgrounds, it's always going to be conflict, and it's all about working together, making your relationship work. Everybody have to compromise, because you can't always have one thing your way, and he came from another direction, so everything can't be his way. Relationship is about coming together. Everybody's given to make things work. It always gonna be conflict, but marriage and relationships is about how you work out that conflict. It ain't about not having no conflict, because there's not sunny days every day. It's not sunny days. It's not really, and especially if you're married, it may not be sunny days. I don't know, maybe I don't know, but it just ain't gonna be sunny days every day. It's always gonna be something. And that's not to say that you don't love that person. It's just to say that you are two different people coming from two different backgrounds. Nobody is gonna be like you. And I don't even know if it's good to have somebody like you, because if somebody's like you probably won't get along, because I guess if you like yourself that much, but like you say, especially if you're narcissistic, you can't have but one king to a castle or one queen to a castle. So I don't even know if you would like yourself. But the thing is two people coming together, and what love is two people compromising to make it work. But all this cheating out here, like I say, if he got a problem in his relationship, the time and effort he putting out with these other women, trying to whining and dining and making them happy, why he ain't whining and dining his wife? Sure, she got 2 kids, but get a babysitter. Say, baby, meet me over here. Make a babysitter for her. Send her a car to pick her up. It's plenty of things to do. Okay, marriage gets boring, relationship get boring, but it's plenty of things to do if you want to do it. So by him going to tell people her sex is boring, her stuff, I don't even know. He probably say her booty stink. I don't know what he said, but he down, the girl said that he downed her all kind of ways to him. What kind of man gonna talk about his wife to another woman? This lady that had 2 of his kids, and he talking about her stuff ain't no good, her stuff stink or whatever. Why would he say that? And yet you gonna forgive him? Girl, leave that man. But anyway, thanks for coming to chat with Cece tonight, and you have a good week out there, and please like, share this video, and please subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good weekend.